The U.S.-based North Korea monitoring website 38 North has published satellite imagery it says indicates the regime is preparing to test more submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The pictures of the Sinpo South shipyard, it says, dated October 28th, show a mobile crane used previously to load missile canisters into the submarine and the submersible missile test barge. The crane was seen next to the submarine most recently on October 20th, following the North's SLBM launch earlier this month. In the new picture, the test barge also had the cover removed from the ring mount, possibly to insert a missile canister.
She was my friend. She was my friend.
Alec Baldwin on camera for the first time since the deadly movie set shooting in New Mexico.
I'm not allowed to make any comments because it's an ongoing investigation. I've been ordered by the Sheriff's Department in Santa Fe. I can't answer any questions about the investigation. I can't.
In an impromptu interview, the 63-year-old beside his wife Hilaria telling photographers the Rust production will not continue, calling the tragic death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins one in a trillion.
There are incidental accidents on film sets from time to time, but nothing like this. This is a 1 in a trillion episode. It's a 1 in a trillion film.
The actor-producer sharing his concern for Hutchins' family, saying he's talked repeatedly with her husband.
He is in shock. He has a 9-year-old son. We are, in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family and his kid. And as I said, we're eagerly awaiting for the Sheriff's Department to tell us what their investigation has yielded.
A protest that's been days in the making. Thousands of people gather on the streets of Khartoum, demanding a return to transitional government, something they say was robbed from them after the military coup on Monday. They're risking a lot. Days of protests in the capital led to street-to-street battles with the military and demonstrators killed. With the internet cut off, organizers used mosques, flyers, and graffiti to reach people. The military also blocked the main road to the airport, the planned route of this march. Saturday's protests were met with tear gas and live ammunition.
Rebellious Tigrayan forces say they have seized the strategic town of Dessie in Ethiopia's Amhara region, where thousands of ethnic Amharas have sought refuge from escalating violence. The Tigray People's Liberation Front's spokesperson, Getachew Reda, told Reuters their fighters pushed government forces from Dessie on Saturday and were heading towards Kombolcha in north-central Ethiopia. Seizing Dessie, some 240 miles from the capital Addis Ababa, would be a strategic gain for Tigrayan fighters against central government forces who were trying to dislodge them from the region. The TPLF spokesperson also said forces had captured many Ethiopian soldiers.
These truck drivers are used to crisscrossing China, driving hundreds of kilometers every day. But a nationwide shortage of diesel fuel has changed that. The shortage has been accompanied by a sharp rise in prices. Since January, the cost of diesel here has increased by about 30%.
At this petrol station, customers are limited to buying just 200 litres of diesel fuel. But outside the capital, the supply problem is much worse, with some truck drivers having to wait days to refuel.
There have been long lines of vehicles at petrol stations in China's southern and eastern provinces. Due to rationing, many drivers say they can only refuel for 1 day's journey, which means cross-country deliveries are taking longer to arrive.
They spoke different languages but were united in their cause. Climate pilgrims from across Europe gathered in Scotland, marching through the center of Glasgow a day before the COP26 climate summit. They demanded urgent action to save the planet. A pooch joined the march, while artists and activists like Zoe Walker paraded around in an inflatable snake of capitalism.
My mind is open. I think that the things that are happening around the conference give me a lot of hope.
G20 leaders gathered in Rome Saturday for a two-day summit before COP26. A draft joint statement seen by Reuters showed they are only likely to slightly toughen previous pledges on climate action, while failing to set tough new targets that activists say are vital to prevent environmental catastrophe.
At least 13 people were killed and 4 injured in Uttarakhand's Chakrata on Sunday after a utility vehicle they were travelling in fell into a ditch, according to the officials. Rescue work commenced immediately after the news of the accident spread, and officials confirmed that emergency responders are present at the spot carrying out relief works with the help of the locals. According to the officials, the accident spot is in the remote area of Tinuri in the Chakrata Tehsil, around 170 kilometers away from the state capital of Dehradun.
Is that, oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, I hear gunshots in my neighborhood every night. My son and I fall asleep to the lullaby of gunshots in the distance every night because I'm the first mayor in over 20 years to be born, raised, and still live in North St. Louis. And it's unfortunate, yes, I heard it, but I didn't flinch because, I guess it's a part of my life now.